Hello, and this is the
Hi.
100K Academy, and my name is Olga. I'm co-founder of Meta Startup Studio, and here we're gonna talk about hyper-practical tools of starting, running, and growing your business to 100K in profits per year. So today we have Eva with me. So,
Hi.
hey, do you mind to tell us a couple of words about you, your business, where you're at in terms of the stage, and also kind of like what kind of support you are looking to receive in
Mm-hmm.
general, where maybe you have unclarity, where you're not sure about the next steps to take, like where you require business support.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks, Olga, for connecting. It's actually a very transformative moment for me because after over 10 years in IT, in working as a tech marketing person, writer, I really want to start offering yoga and relaxation services. It's yoga was a very important part of my recovery. So I struggle with chronic depression and pain.
Mm,
So, with time, it helped me a lot to connect with myself and to also reduce the pain and also learn how to function in different ways. So break the patterns of behavior. And I feel like I strongly believe in the power of yoga. So now I would like to create a business around that business.
mm,
Of course, the most important thing is to actually spread the message that it's easier than a lot of people think to actually reconnect with the body, calm the mind, and learn new ways of dealing with everyday triggers. Because we all get triggered, we all get dysregulated from time to time, but there are also very simple ways to take care of our well-being. And of course, it's important to go to therapy. It's important to take medication when it's necessary, but also those little practices that I have learned throughout my recovery and throughout my yoga teacher training are extremely powerful, and they can change and improve the quality of your life very fast when you master them, of course, and when you apply them. So I really want to bring hope to people that it's
mm,
possible to improve the quality of life. And at the very beginning of the process, so I am now testing the practices I'm teaching in different yoga schools across Berlin. But I want to take it online because I strongly
mm,
believe that my line of yoga, and especially this focus on pain relief, is something that can work well online. Those are simple, very safe practices that people can learn and do. It's about controlling your breath. It's about using mantras. It's about bringing awareness, loving awareness to your body and befriending. And those are
mm,
the things that don't require me touching the students. So I think it would also give access to people in different geographic locations, like when you live somewhere in a
mm,
small village, you're far away from and I think this could really bring a real difference to people across the world, because I want to do it in English as
mm,
well, to keep it more versatile and universal. Um, so I'm at the stage of actually, I've just created my initial offering. So yoga for
mm.
chronic pain relief. I'm still like ironing out some bits and bobs, but I'm quite sure what's going to go inside the offering. And I'm already testing it on different people. So not just torturing my friends, also torturing nice strangers. And they, surprisingly, they say they love it. Like they fall
Mm,
asleep during my shavasana, or relaxations, when I started playing gong. So it seems to be working.
mm,
So I'm testing the idea. It seems positive. I've ran some customer interviews, so I've also collected some initial information. This was a really great tip from you, so I'm really happy that you reminded me about that. And I've already used the insights from the customer
mm,
interviews to write the first draft of my landing page, where I'm going to actually communicate the way I see those classes online. And I've prepared the setup, so the in the most physical sense. So I bought a nice microphone for creating a good sound experience. I bought a tripod with some light to ensure that, you know, students can see me. I created an Instagram after a lot of mental trouble. I also created Instagram. I decided to use Instagram to remind people to get off Instagram with the power of Instagram. So life is a conundrum. So I also think let's do it. And I would love to start recording guided meditation. So I'm also learning right now how to create professional scripts for yoga nidra. So it's like a guided body scan meditation with some positive elements. So ultimately, I want to be able to instill beautiful thoughts instead of harmful inner dialogue that we all struggle with, especially people with trauma. So yeah, so a lot of ideas coming together, and I've created the first very simple draft of my website on the website builder, but I am not entirely sure. So I would love to get maybe your opinion as well, because I think my website should include a shop section. But this is also something I would love to hear your thoughts on. Because I would love to be able to sell, of course, tickets to my classes or memberships. But with time, I also want I want to create series of guided meditations. Parts of it I definitely want to use on Instagram and on YouTube. So hopefully with your guidance, we'll create like a strategy how to use it to sell. But I would love to have like a service of a personalized meditation where I create, because my background is in writing. So I think I could use my skills from the previous life to create beautiful meditations for people and
It
sell it.
sounds so funny. Previous
Yeah.
life.
But yeah, I mean, I still do write about technology, but like ultimately, I would love to put my skills to good use and create meditations that people could buy from my shop and use like to listen as a relaxation before bed, something to calm their mind, something to stop the racing thoughts that a lot of people suffer from, something that would basically help support their mental health like a boost. So this is also, that's why I was like not sure like how to build a website, because yeah, I think it should have the shop option, because ultimately I would love to offer that as well. Maybe so maybe like offer a lot of pre-recorded meditations on YouTube to raise the awareness of my website, and do the same, follow suit on Instagram, but ultimately offer like longer guided meditations in the shop. So yeah.
Is this the main request for you, just to understand whether you need to offer a shop on the website, or do you have like any other questions as well?
Regarding the e-commerce, or
Just regarding like in regards to your business, right? Because it's kind of like wrapping up like what I heard from you, right? So you are at the stage right now when you interviewed your like potential customers, you created an offer on the back of that, you are creating your landing page based on your like interviews and the data that came from there. You're working on your website, created an Instagram account, right? You already like testing kind of like your services by working in 3 different yoga studios, right? So like this is all happening. So like, is the major concern right now is like how to structure a website? Like, do you have any other questions?
Yes, I mean, I am thinking, like, I know, I'm quite sure because I've analyzed a lot of websites of different yoga teachers, also teachers who offer online. So I'm quite okay with the general information architecture. So the how to create the architecture that covers both the fact that I work in a hybrid model, But I am struggling a bit, like how to maybe package the prices, how to approach the pricing for the classes online, which software to use to manage and how to integrate it. And yeah, and I am suffering also from imposter syndrome. So I see that I am postponing writing the actual. I mean, I'll show you in a moment the landing that I created. I mean, it's not perfect, and I realize that there are two things still missing. But you get, I think you'll get the gist, and you'll be able to roast, hopefully in a kind way. So not squashing
Of
me. I'm
course,
not.
only from love.
But yes, it's very, I've already shared this thought with you, I guess, that it's very difficult. Like I've always written very good strategic messaging for other people, like for tech companies, but there was this distance, and suddenly I'm trying to do the same thing for myself, and I find it extremely difficult because like no word seems good enough. So there is this, I don't know, like I felt I am no longer a perfectionist, but this is definitely triggering this side where you know I feel like, oh, this is not good enough, blah blah blah. There's so many, so it's also taking more time than I thought it would take.
But by the way, like I just wanted to tell you that this is completely normal, because like it can be that you even work like, in marketing and sales, like you like have been doing writing, right, and copywriting for your clients. But it's one thing to do it for somebody else and for somebody else's business. And it's completely different when we start doing it for ourselves. And I think like I haven't met anyone like in working with like soon probably like 200 customers, that would not encounter this difficulty, so it's like it's very normal that it shows up because like basically what happens is a little bit in our brain, it's very intertwined, right? Our business and ourselves, it's almost like merging, and it seems like it's the same thing, whilst actually it's not, right? It's like it's different things. Like in general, it's kind of like you as a human, as a person, has nothing to do like with you as an expert actually, because it's like also two different things, and with your business or your kind of like business offer. So it's actually three different things which we need to separate in our heads. But like in the beginning, it feels like it feels very personal, right? It feels like it's you exposed, like
I mean,
naked online every time you post
absolutely,
something,
and I am so like also like I really want to, like I really want to use this because I really strongly believe, I'm very passionate about this, using yoga for mind and body healing, like for the support. Like it's helped me so much. So also my passion is real. So but I also know it's not for everyone. So yes, so there is this fear of like getting my face out there, like also like I think I will be recording myself explaining stuff, so it's also like, oh, I don't look so nice, I look old, this bullshit, which it's not about how pretty you are, it's about like how loving and how convincing, how well you express. Like this is a general shift in life. So I think it's also about embracing yourself and accepting yourself and believing that you have something to give to people, right? That you can positively impact people with, the stuff with the crap that you've been through. And I've been through a lot of crap, so I want to like give hope to others that, hey, there is light at the end of this crap,
100%. And once again, like if it gives you any comfort, people actually don't care about you. They don't give a fuck. Like it's sometimes difficult for us to accept, but it is truly so, because like majority of people, they're so wrapped up in their own everyday problems and their issues, like, and especially probably your type of customer who is experiencing chronic pain or depression or whatever trauma, like whatever is there, they're very much wrapped up in what is going on with them. So they don't care so much about how you look like, you know, like even though like we would wish people like really cared for this, they don't care.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
only thought in their head is like, hey, can you help me? Because I'm suffering, I'm in pain right now, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're, I think, like already understanding it on the logical level, but it's like, it's just a matter of, you know, truly kind of like giving yourself this opportunity to tune into the fact that you're just there to support the customers. It's not about you. It's never been about you. Your business is not about you. It's about helping the customer, right? And like I was making this example because like end of last year I had like a functional burnout, and then like back of that I started having like autoimmune issues, right? And like my eyes were like super red, itchy, oozing, you know, like it was so painful. And so for me, in that moment, if somebody would just be like, hey, you know, like I can help you. I have the, like, I don't know, the tools, I have like, I don't know, the medicine, I have like whatever to help you with this. I would be like, thank you, somebody's saying this. But imagine this person would be holding back and it's like, oh no, like actually, yeah, I have cure for her eyes, but like I think like I look old today, so I'm not gonna go on the camera and talk about the fact that I actually have the cure for this thing.
Yeah.
And I would be like,
Absolutely.
can you imagine like how much of like an asshole we would be to the people out there, like if we just not like share with them what we have and like and the like I don't know, the tools, the techniques, the I don't know, methodologies to help people. Like so I think it's like it's
Absolutely.
actually the other way around, you know, like we think people gonna judge us for like I don't know, not looking nice, or I don't know, like something is not perfect about us, or how do we come across. But actually, you know, by holding back because of that, we are harming people rather than helping them.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, yeah, absolutely. And it's also, I think, acceptance that I am not perfect, but yet still good enough for this particular person or for this particular situation, you know, that it's about going beyond the unrealistic threshold of expectations towards ourselves. We are trained as women, especially. I think we're trained to believe that we can only speak up when we are, you know, we look perfect and we're perfectly relaxed and so on. But that rarely happens, right? So, and
But this is
still,
also like the shift that we need to make, like on a mindset level. It's
yes,
it's it's it's
absolutely.
about the fact that, you know, how to explain this. So we believe that we need to be like perfect to speak up, which we don't need to. We believe that we need to be perfect in order to seem like an expert, and we need to have it all figured out, which is also not true. Basically, you know, like a lot of times, like where this imposter syndrome, which you mentioned, comes from, is this like dissonance between where you think you need to be in order to, you know, help people and where you actually are. But actually, like the best strategy in this case is sincerity. I don't know, like why we think that we need to be unsincere in our marketing, because we can be extremely sincere. And this is like something that always makes other humans connect to us, because you can be blunt, honest about it, saying like, hey, you know, like I don't have like, I don't know, 20 years of experience. I'm just learning this, but I learned this, and this is already what I can help you with. You know, like we don't need to lie. We don't need to pretend to be somebody else. We can be like very honest about it. And like,
and ultimately it's also part of this whole transformation process. So that's also why I'm aware that certain things are taking a little bit more, because there's also this mental load around like accepting myself the way I am. So this isn't just related to work, it's in general. I'm at this stage where I'm like no longer like trying to care much less about like what people think. I mean, not being an asshole, but being a decent human being, and bring the attention inwards rather than outwards. And it's really like a huge transformation. And I think this is also like happening in parallel, so that, you know, I can be myself without shame and guilt, and come up with my creative ideas and have this acceptance, but also patience that not everything is perfect right away. I mean, in the past, during my corporate times, I was like super impatient and super perfect. Everything had to be polished right away. And if it wasn't, then oh, God knows what would happen. But now I feel like, okay, also accepting that, okay, some stuff goes really well. Some stuff needs a little bit more time, but still like trying to consistently move in the direction where I want to get. And the idea is very clear. The idea, the goal, the end goal is very clear. I want to have an online yoga school focused on pain relief and mental health boost, and doing my bit to relieve the mental health crisis that is currently aggravated by the uncertain political situation and social media and everything that we have to grapple with right now. So yeah.
Awesome. So looking at the goal, right, of having the online school, having this like goal in front of you, like if I may, can I offer you something as well in terms of mindsets on top of what we discussed? So basically also think about it like the first stage of your business where you are at, right? Because like you're very fresh on this is all about experimentation. So like, and actually like coming from the tech background, like you would know that there is like, I mean, I don't know like how familiar you are with design thinking, right? But it's kind of like, and lean startup methodology, but actually like if we look at those, the first stage is always about running a lot of experiments, right? So we just like throwing something on the market and we like trying to see whether the customer really resonates with what we put out there. Are they ready to give us money for what we put in out there or not, right? And it is 100% not about you. And I think like this we really need to differentiate, something that we talked about before, right? Like it's very different from you as a person. It's very different from you as an expert. Actually, even if something doesn't work, it says nothing about your skills as a yoga teacher. Zero. It just talks about like that you have a process, and at the end of this process, you have an outcome, right? And if the outcome is not what you want to see, you know, like, I don't know, the response to your social communication is not what you want to see. I don't know, like not enough people are buying your services for whatever reason, right? That's not the outcome that you want to see. It has nothing to do with you as an expert or a person. It has everything to do with your process beforehand. So something in your process is not working perfectly, which gives you the outcome. So the only thing that you need to go like to do is to go back to your process, you know, and fix the process until you see the outcome you want to see, right? So it has nothing to do with you. It's just like with the steps that you took before, right? And somewhere there is a flaw of some sort, you know, like, so there is a misstep, there is miscalculation of some sort, there is, I don't know, like the way you communicate the message out there is not resonating with people. So you just need to correct this, but it has nothing to do with your skills. You know what I mean? And sometimes like in our head, it gets replaced.
I mean, absolutely. Although I must say it's also difficult. I mean, I know like a bitter pill is better than none. Like having feedback, like testing ideas fast is really good. But it's also there is this danger, of like, oh, it's not working. I mean, also like testing, like working in different yoga schools, you know, in some classes you have a lot of people, in some classes you only have one person. I still run the class because, you know, it's a very valuable experience. Also, like it's nice to have this experience for the times when I'll have more private students, right? So but there is this danger that it's like I'm already working as a yoga teacher for like 6 weeks. Like I am not the most popular yoga teacher in Berlin yet. So, you know, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Like, what a surprise!
What a surprise! Yeah. But I also mingle with like very good yoga teachers. Like I go and ask for advice. So I'm like, parts of me are already like humble in a positive way. Like humble that, you know, I ask for help, I ask for advice, I ask for guidance. And parts of me are like, yeah, you should be already, you know, this voice. You know, like,
but you know, like I can 100% relate to this because like in the beginning of our journey, we also had like webinars that we thought we marketed like for, I don't know, like forever, you know, and then like 2 people would show up only. And like, I think like this also this switch like from like, oh, like it's so disappointing that only 2 people showed up to, oh my God, awesome. There are 2 humans that I can really impact today? How can I make this experience the most impactful experience they had to date with like all the abilities I have, so they go and spread the word about me?
Yes.
It's like it's shifting the mindset on being focused on those clients who did show up, because actually somebody did show up. So can I make it the best experience? And if I can, will they be so in awe of it that they will go out and just talk about it nonstop and invite more humans to come, and have this experience with me?
Yeah, definitely. I've noticed that this is already happening in my head. So like instead of only one person, I'm like, hey, yeah, let's do it. Hey, it's actually quite cool that it's only you and me. We have no choice. So what do you need today? Would you like to work on like maybe releasing the shoulders, or maybe you have some other tension, maybe you have like insomnia. So it's also, and I usually hear about the experience after the class. I hear like, wow, this was exactly what I needed. Yeah. So this is like, I see that they are happy,
This is
so I
awesome, right? This
also
is the confirmation for our brain that we need to intentionally focus on, right? Because
yeah
our brain, like human brain, is sneaky. It's basically like by the process of evolution, it's used to be focused on survival, right? It's basically survival brain, right? So it's like it's now a natural tendency to always focus first on what is going wrong or can go wrong before we focus on something that's
I
like
mean, it's
positive that
also,
can come out of it, right?
we're
So
also socialized to that. Yeah.
yes,
You're
absolutely,
never
right?
good enough. Yeah. So it's also
100%, right? So it's like it's the teachers, it's other authority like figures in our life that have told us something, right? And like it's kind of like just confirms what our brain is already focused on. But if we intentionally move this like thoughts from like, oh my God, like not enough people came, to, oh my God, like it's awesome, I can interact with these people and give them the best experience, then and noticing this positive feedback that they give you afterwards versus being like still upset and disappointed that only 2 showed up, this is a game changer, right? Because like once you
so
notice like how much they love it, it will give you like enough dopamine in your brain to continue, and do
yes.
more
And
of
I
that.
noticed also that people like when I changed the way I approach people, it happened a while ago. Like when I literally, I feel happy when I see people, hey, it's lovely to see you, thank you for coming, like with gratitude and openness and curiosity. They also react, they feel welcome, and they feel good. And I already have, like, after a few weeks, I already have some people who come back and they're very happy, and they ask like, but sure, your class will be throughout the summer, because I really want to come. Like, yeah, absolutely, you're welcome. So it's small, but it's a win.
100%. And the
And
more
I
we can intentionally focus on the small wins and see more of them, the more wins we will create. Success creates more success. So the
yes,
more we notice what is working versus what is not working, the more of the stuff that is working we create.
yes. And also, like I am also aware of the fact that, because I work with different schools now, so I also see they have different clientele, and I see that, okay, like my yoga can be a very different thing. So in one studio, they are more focused on vinyasa, so my kind of relaxation and kundalini meditation pranayamas, it's a little bit like on the side. Like there are a few people that will come just like more as a change, yeah. But there are other schools where they actually value the line of yoga and the line of relaxation and deep release of tension. So I'm also like well aware that some people will love me, some people will find me boring, and I'm okay with, like, I wouldn't say I'm already okay with that, because I would love to please everyone, but I also don't want to be a people pleaser, because I know it doesn't lead me anywhere. So there's a huge mental shift coming up right now, and then also learning to contain the emotions of people. Like, it's very different when you have one person, very different when you have 4 people, when you have a bigger group. I already secured some events as well, so I already got offered to lead some workshops at a festival in the summertime, at some local events in Berlin. maybe in Frankfurt as well. So it feels like, I'm pitching my ideas and it feels like people are buying.
Mm.
And maybe I'm not the most popular teacher yet, but yeah,
Well,
who
that's
knows?
okay after 6 weeks,
Yeah, that's absolutely okay. And also like
But you
considering,
know that there is also this danger sometimes, which I see with our clients a lot, when people wish they were further along the journey than they actually are. And
mm-hmm,
sometimes they believe that they are already much further like into their journey. And this is very
mm-hmm,
dangerous because it's not an adequate assessment of your point A. And like if you can't assess
mm-hmm,
where you are right now, like in a very like adequate way, you can't really move to point B where you want to be. Like imagine on the
mm-hmm,
navigation, if you don't have the like if the dot where you are on the map doesn't show the precise location, but it's like somewhere off, and then you're trying to
yeah,
calculate the route to point B, and it doesn't work because like your starting point is different, right?
mm-hmm,
So it's actually nothing's wrong with being where we are right now, right? And
mm-hmm,
it's like to this point of your like what you mentioned of acceptance, of accepting that we are in this point right now.
yeah,
I'm a yoga teacher only for 6 weeks. I'm not popular. Nobody knows about me, like I'm a no
mm-hmm,
name. And
yeah,
you can get upset about this fact, or you can see it as an opportunity. Nobody knows about me. Awesome. I can tell so many people about myself. I can use this
yeah,
as an opportunity to
mm-hmm,
spread the word instead of being upset that's like nobody knows about me. Or assuming, that's like, oh, I'm already like further along the journey. Somebody knows about me because it's just the route for disappointment. It's
yeah,
actually it's
mm-hmm.
actually good where you are at right now, as long as you in an adequate way seeing where you are at. You know
Yeah.
what I
Oh,
mean?
okay. So in that sense, because
In that
I at
sense.
first I thought that maybe you refer to the fact that I'm already like booking some events,
No, no, no.
whereas
This
maybe
is
I
this
am
is
not
this is
ready.
perfect. This is perfect. You are perfectly ready. But sometimes I hear from my clients like, oh, like I'm scared kind of like in a way of being too popular, like with the stuff that I express, because like I feel like I have great power to influence people. So I'm scared to like, influence, like to misuse my power. And I'm like, you're definitely thinking that you're way further ahead than you are, because right now nobody knows about you. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
influencing no one, So like, why are
Mm-hmm.
you concerned right now that you can hypothetically misuse your power? Like you can't,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody
No,
knows
I'm
about
not.
you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like, I never wanted to be an influencer in that sense. I'm more like I think I'm more humble and I feel like I sometimes cannot even influence myself to go to bed earlier. So why, like how my mind wouldn't even come up with an idea that I can influence. I mean, some people tell me like I used to work as a teacher as well in the past, as an academic teacher. So I had
Hmm.
students who would be like super grateful for the skills and for the way I guided them through different processes. So I love this feeling, but
Hmm.
I am deeply aware that the only person that can change something in your life is you, or in my case, me. And
Hmm.
it's also like I don't I don't really measure my success in likes or follows or anything like that. I mean, I would love my classes to ultimately become very popular. Like my gong teacher is like a super popular. She's got an amazing
Hmm.
energy, and I look up to her totally. But she's just like, she's been here for like 10 years and she's been in the space for, I mean, she's my age, more or less. So she's also had like very different experience. Like I feel like Berlin is difficult. I don't think I'm gonna stay here forever. So that's also part of the whole process. So I'm also like feeling, okay, I'm learning, I'm in this process of learning, making connections here to use it to master and work out what I actually want to learn. But ultimately, I think my skills will be far more in demand outside of Berlin because there's just like way too many
I
practitioners
would
here.
watch I would watch out this for this thought. Like because it's also like this is interesting because like today we were like talking like wanted to talk more about like some practical tools, but it's like turns out there is a lot like in the mindset
Yeah.
still. because
Yes.
it's a sneaky thought that
Uh-huh.
like I might not be in demand because there is too much competition. There is
Mm-hmm.
already a lot going on. And I have like just a very recent example because like we live here like with Karsten in Ericeira, which is like 40 kilometers up north from Lisbon, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's a hub of digital nomads, so it's like European Bali. And like originally they were like only two co-works in town. So there was like
Mm-hmm.
one, like the oldest one, and then another opened up. And then like you think like, okay, like it's a small town, like why would you need more? Right. And then like another two co-works opened up. And you would think that the new ones would struggle, right? Because like they're coming like after like the other two were already established.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the first two went out of business
Mm-hmm.
and the new one stayed. So I
Yeah.
just want to point
Yeah.
your
I mean,
attention out
it's
to this
positive. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you might think that there is already
Mm-hmm.
enough, but what if it's not? What if like actually like the angle that you are bringing to it is more needed than what everybody else is doing? So what
Yeah,
if
and I
they go
got
out of business?
and I got feedback from some of the people who also match my potential customer. And one of the girls, I mean, she doesn't live in Berlin, but she was like, she was super happy. She's an actress and she's got like a very stressful lifestyle because running to casting. And she was like super happy to hear that I would be offering classes online because she said that she loves the idea and that this is really something that a lot of people may need these days, like something to relax, something
Mm,
to, I mean, it's kind of obvious, yeah, but it's also like to this pain
mm,
and dealing with pain and processing pain. So it's not just for people who are already in therapy. It's also for people who are,
mm.
in general struggling with overwhelm, right? It's
So
also,
which brings me back to your interviews, because you said you had already like 5 interviews, right?
yeah.
Until now. So can you like tell me a bit more about what did people tell you about their problems, about their like wished for solutions, like the format and
Mm-hmm.
everything? So like what's like, do you see any
Mm-hmm.
like red threads between what people told you?
So as a problem, anxiety and
Mm-hmm.
the stress of like feeling that they very often are in a treadmill, like in a life is a little bit
Mm-hmm.
like a treadmill, and that they have to rush and in a way disconnect,
Mm-hmm.
and that disconnecting is also good. Like one of my interviewees, she said that she got into body mind as a part of looking for solutions for her endometriosis, and
Mm-hmm.
endometriosis is like a very painful. And she started doing some impro movement practices, and that's helped her a lot. And that's how she discovered that she's got some tensions in the body that she doesn't want to address those tensions. So she tries to find compensations, and that her instructor told her that it would be nice if she focused on like consciously releasing those tensions so that she doesn't have to have those workarounds, so that she can fully use her body. And so that was very interesting. And she was like, "Oh my God, if it works, like if your method works, I will send you all endo girls from France to your
Mm-hmm.
classes. Like, if there's a way to like naturally reduce the power, the strength of
Mm-hmm.
pain." Another person said that it's like when they have to work, there's like a corporate job, they're in a
Mm-hmm.
corporate job, they also get disconnected from the body, and they feel like it takes them a while to actually stop the racing thoughts, and that it would be nice to learn practices that they can use for reclaiming their life,
Mm-hmm.
basically, to be able to switch from work to after work
Mm-hmm.
modes. Another person was highlighting the fact that it wasn't yoga, it was Pilates, but Pilates has helped her survive depression, has soothed, and she sees huge differences when she practices. And for the good, that person also said that for the good teacher, it's absolutely fine if you only do it online, because ultimately it's about being seen and being understood and being like accepted and also guided in a mindful way. What else have I learned? Yeah, that the teacher, the focus. Oh, and some of the people said that they were discouraged by in normal yoga studios, they were discouraged by this esoteric connotations that yoga brings. I mean, my tradition of yoga, Kundalini, is very like spiritual, but it can be served in a modern way. So I also want to serve it in a modern way because it offers a lot of solutions. I mean, there's plenty of sets in Kundalini that literally tells you like this is a set for to prevent freaking out. This is the title of the meditation. To prevent freaking out, or to tranquilize mind, or to emotional balance, and so on. It can be presented in a way that isn't like, religious. Can be presented in a very modern way and also explained in a plain language. So this was actually several of my interviewees said that, hey, if you are able to present yoga in a plain English, I'm gonna come. But I wanna be able to make a sense of what you say, without knowing those concepts, and like that yoga is quite discouraging for people because it uses like those very long names like Jani Shirshasana, Marichyasana, and so on, and that people get like, oh, I have to know it. So I thought that, okay, so focusing on making it plain English, plain language, making it accessible, so start where you are and build up gradually. Experience. So don't worry about like philosophies and connecting to the universe or 10th gate and whatever. I mean, we can use mantras because it's scientifically proven to help, to soothe pain and to vibrate. By vibration, also it changes the vibration in your mind, in your brain. But serve it in a way that is modern, approachable, friendly, offers empathy, and is cozy. So you can come, and I know your names. Groups are limited to small, like, number of seats. Whatever happens, we meet regularly, so there you can practice wherever you are. This is the convenience, but we still create like loving community where you can come, you can ask questions. You also get the recording of the class after, because that's also what I learned from the interviews, that it's just too fast. Sometimes I would like to slow down. So, okay, so the idea is that, yes, you come to the class, we do what is supposed to happen, but then you get the recording, and during 7 days after the class, you can use the recording, stop, take longer breaks, watch. And I was thinking of placing those videos on YouTube, and then after 7 days, of course, I remove it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Eva, like actually, like you have like so much information from your interviews. So this is to the fear of, like the like writing the copy for the website or anything like being about you. I actually like there needs to be no word about you, because like actually these people already gave you everything you need, right? You
Do you
just
want to
like
see what I wrote?
yes, would be interesting. Do you want to open it up? I think
Yes,
I
let me
allow you
just
to share the screen.
let me just open the tab. Okay, so see, share screen. Okay. And also, this is the first draft, so I'm actually very happy that you're gonna look at it. It's not perfect, it's not finished, but I was thinking about starting with the title. You have a chronic pain relief with a short, I mean, make it show right away that, it's people see that it's not a one-off workshop, but like regular. And then just diving directly, like psychosomatic pain and dysregulation don't have to ruin your life. You can join our regular classes and start rewiring your brain for more serenity, relief, and pleasure. Because those are the
Can
things
I
that
roast you a little bit on this?
absolutely, but be kind, okay?
So I think like great starter. So yoga for chronic pain relief, awesome, love it. Psychosomatic pain and dysregulation don't have to ruin your life. Perfect, right? Because like that's basically what people told you. And then like it starts to go a bit down here with this start rewiring your brain for more serenity, relief, and pleasure. I don't think, and maybe I'm mistaken, that your interviewees told you exactly in these words that they want to rewire their brain to
No,
experience
they
more
didn't.
serenity, relief, and pleasure. So what I
Yeah.
want you to do is to take actually the actual words from the interviews and use them in this session, in this text, in this copy. You know, like because what did they tell you? What do they wish for? Do they wish for more serenity, relief, and pleasure and rewire their brain? Is that the solution they're looking for?
No, this is
So
me.
yes, exactly, right? So I want you to stop talking in your language completely. Just talk in their language because like this would already turn me off. It's not like it's like too yoga like or something, but it just doesn't speak to my actual desire. My like probably if I'm chronically in pain, like which I don't know, right? Because like I never experienced it. But if I could imagine myself being in chronic pain, I want to the pain relief, right? Like I want to feel better. I just want to have some days where maybe the pain is lesser than what I experience on an everyday basis.
Yeah,
Right?
I'll look into that. Yeah, that's a valid point. Yeah, rewiring your brain. I mean, I was thinking, I was struggling with writing this because, of course, you know, like I can't promise people that I will heal them. Only they can heal themselves. Like even doctors can
but
heal.
you don't need to
But
promise
it's
them
yeah,
unrealistic things. Like what you can tell them is like join our regular online classes where through, I don't know, simple, you know, like practice or whatever, like whatever they wish for, because they told you like
yeah.
we don't want to complicate it. We're scared. We're scared of woo. We're scared of like too sophisticated names and
Yeah.
stuff, which I don't understand. Like how can be explained in plain English language, you know, like write how you would speak, how you would talk to a friend, because I'm sure that you would not, like if you would be sitting in a coffee place right now, you would not be telling me like, hey Olga, I can help you by rewiring your brain so you experience more serenity, relief, and pleasure in your life.
Yeah,
You know,
it
like we don't
sounds,
talk this
yeah,
way.
yeah, it sounds, yes, you're absolutely right. I agree. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So here
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to like have a
Mm-hmm.
CTA that goes directly to, I mean,
Perfect.
I'm testing a tool for managing online
Mm-hmm.
bookings for online yoga, Momo Yoga, but if you hear of any better tool,
I mean, like one of
uh,
our clients is using Bsport as well. I don't know if you heard
B
Bsport.
Sport.
It's just like Bsport. I mean, like they are not bad as well. Like I mean, like every platform has their pluses and minuses. Like I think like you just really literally would need to talk to a couple of them to see which one suits your needs specifically. You know, because like
Yeah.
I think Bsport is not bad. Like it has some downsides of like in a weird way showing the schedule somehow. Like I don't know whether they will fix it or not, but like there are different tools, so just like see what works for you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I mean, I wanted to make it simple, so that people can buy everything online. They don't have to send me transfers or anything like that.
mm,
And then they like automate it so they get confirmation right away and a Zoom link when the time comes. And
mm,
Momo Yoga helps to do that. There's also some other tool, and I also checked the B Sport. So I would ultimately I would like to integrate it all so it happens within my website,
mm,
but we'll see how that works. And yeah, so then going down, okay, that's not the words
mm-hmm,
they used, but I still felt this is important, that to mention that this is like a great addition to the treatment that you're receiving, because people from the pain background, they may be like they may feel that they've tried everything.
mm,
So this is like another way, but I wanted to make sure that they don't see it as a magic fix, but
mm.
something that can truly improve their life. So complement to medical treatment, and that you can reclaim your body and a sense of comfort.
Do they also
So,
talk this way? Do they want to
no.
reclaim their body?
No. Yes, you're roasting and you're right.
You know, like basically what you could use, and like a lot of times, like what we recommend is basically like if you have the sales page, right, or even your website, like if you want it to be highly converting website, what you could use is actually the structure of the sales offer. So the one that I sent you before, that you can like make on the back of the interviews, and basically like so the first, like the title, right, like on your sales page, like it needs to be very clear what and for whom, you know, like what specifically you are doing and for what kind of person. So the first seconds that I see your page when I load it, I can definitely identify, is it for me or is it not for me, right? So it needs to be clear on the top. And a lot of times, like, I don't know, like in the yoga world, people love to use like some fancy quotes or like something like, I don't know, like, look where the sand goes, there the wind blows, or whatever stuff, you know, and you're like,
yes,
the fuck
yes.
is this, like, right? I don't understand. So just like be very careful, like with this. So like the top needs to be very clear. And then like this second like section, right, which you kind of like have here on the screen right now, you can literally use their quotes. Because like sometimes like what we do on our sales pages and we recommend our clients to do is like basically just write out, like, is this you? And then just put their quotes, you know, like, or like, have you ever said this? You know, because like then, and if you just do it like in quotation marks, it's very clear that you heard it from actual people, and a lot of other people will be able to recognize themselves in this, right? So, and that's kind of like really allows you to use their language right away, right? Which is perfect. And the moment they saw themselves in this, you know, like, okay, this is for me, they will stay to read further, you know, like, you know, it as a copywriter, that's like a lot of times, basically the only task of our copy, right, of the sentence we write, is to make the person read the next sentence and then read the next sentence.
Absolutely.
Right. So basically your website or your sales page needs to do exactly the same, right? So every section needs to lead to the desire to read the next section, right? So once they recognize themselves in their description, like, you can use a couple of words to what we call acknowledge and validate them. Tell them that they are not alone in this. A lot of people experience this because of XYZ, right? But actually, it doesn't have to be this way, right? And this is kind of like your first like two sections. Like the first one where you like kind of describe what they're going through. You acknowledge and validate them that it's very normal. A lot of people experience this. They're not the special snowflakes, you know, like, and then you need to position like kind of like your product, right, or your service on the back of that. And basically like what you can do first is to give them the like what we call futurescaping. So the next section on the website or sales page needs to be futurescaping of how their life could look like if this chronic pain was gone. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think you will like the rest of this page, because
but I think like, because like then you start talking about yourself, which is not bad, right? But you can just move this section a bit down, because like I think people want to know about you, but first they need to know if it's for them, right?
Yeah, so I think I will turn this into, because this is exactly where I'm describing the process. Like when you suffer from chronic pain, you may be actually doing things that can help you, but not really connecting the dots. So I was like, I was approaching yoga as this kind of workout, you know, sweating, building my muscles, but I was missing the point that it can transform your emotions and thoughts and the experience. So yeah, I will maybe turn it into.
So here we're missing a bit of a link. So I think like it's not bad. Like you actually can use it this way, but like, so again, like first the pains that they experience, futurescaping of how their life could look like. Then you can actually introduce this if you want to, right? Just saying like, they kind of like bringing it onto yourself, but it's also like for everybody who's like watching this, our about me section is actually not about us. Our about me section needs to be a reflection of your client's journey, right? So like they need to see themselves in you. And here, like when I'm looking at the copy, like what I'm missing is the link, because you're talking about emotions and thoughts, but I don't really understand what it has to do with my physical pain.
Yeah.
So you need to give them like a little bit of insight, like how emotions and thoughts are actually influencing the way we physically feel in our body, right? And give them some, because like they're so freaked out about the woo-woo stuff, right? And being too mystical, like give them some scientific stats. Like it can be one sentence against like by whatever neuroscience study,
Yes, I am actually like, this is also something that I am reading, and there are some nice, because I just feel like I feel it so strongly, but then like to find the right words to present it, it's difficult. So I agree
But they
fully
already
that,
told you, like, explain it in plain English to us, like what is happening, why I'm in pain, right? So you can
absolutely.
explain, and this is why, and then you start to position in your service at the back of it, what I'm doing is so effective, because it doesn't just tackle the symptom that you have, but it's tackles the root cause, right? And through that we can have a much more of a pain relief.
Yeah, and it's like long-term solution. It's not
Exactly.
just like quick fix that it's gonna stop hurting now, but it's like it will transform you. It will transform.
100%, like right, is the same as like this, like a condition that I was describing around my eyes. Like, yes, you can put some cortisol cream around it and it will be like a plaster solution, for some time it will look better, but it will not treat the root cause. Like why like the eyes are inflamed in the first place, or why do you experience chronic pain in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will rework this to describe the condition, to build a link with that pain is a body mind experience, and that
then
by
position your service, like as the perfect solution. Now here is the bridge between your pain and your desire, which is my service.
Yes, which is my service. And then I wanted to mention start where you are and move beyond survival. This is an idea, just to present that this isn't just a online course like all others, but it's something that helps you build a better connection with your body for more pleasure and enthusiasm for life. And this is how. So just to
again here, like I would once again like use their words, because like this is again something that comes from you. Like I can even sense it in the copy, like because I right away see where you're using your customer words and where you're using your own, right? And this is the beauty of interviews, because we don't have to guess anything, because people basically tell us everything that they want to have, right? And also making sure that like all the like features that you have, right, which is like practice anywhere, doing at your pace, like group kind of like experience, right? So these are all the features that they mentioned, and these are like the most important ones for them.
Yeah, I mean, they mentioned that it's actually quite cool to practice online, and that also with the online that they would like to have this space to slow down, that to stop and to, for example, make Shavasana longer, to.
And also
So
maybe like you can try to even like make it stronger here, like in terms of copy, right? Like in terms of like practice anywhere, you can make this on the like the controversy between the physical space and online space, and why would it be better for them, right? So it's like a lot of times, like I don't know, like if it is a physical class, you would struggle with XYZ. This is actually solved by like the online container
this
where
is exactly something that I already put here, although it's not strong enough. But online supports regularity, no matter where you are. Consistent practice is everything. So tune in, do your yoga, and feel great.
Okay, this is not bad. I mean, I just mean like you can make it even stronger, like because you can
absolutely.
like
And I
play
also feel
on
like
the differentiation between the stuff,
I
on the
mean,
polarity.
when I was researching the topic, like just reading and also talking to my potential customers, it felt like, this equal number of voices that are pro and against yoga online. So it's also like I definitely see it as a big advantage that no matter where you go, you can always sign up to the class, and then you get the link and do it at your own pace.
Which
If
also
you
what they
miss the
said, right?
class, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That they can stop, they can take longer
Mm,
shavasana. Yeah, so it's like
mm,
but when they have the time, they also tap into group energy. So it also helps to be with others, like
mm,
spend time, ask questions, share, and also practice
mm,
listening and responding. And then in the final sections, I also outline more reasons to try
mm,
to use this approach. And,
mm,
first is that it's based on real
mm,
recovery.
mm,
Second is that it's small groups, so it's very
mm.
cozy. People can
That's also what they
actually,
said, what I heard from you, like from the interviews. Like it seemed like people would appreciate this, like very
yes,
safe,
yes, that
small
it's
container.
small,
Yes.
safe, that they know each
Mm,
other's names, and there's no, because online very often feels anonymous. So here I
mm,
encourage people to put their cameras on. Of course, not everyone will do that, but
mm,
that's normal. That's more personalized, that it's like cozy, that I remember the stuff they share, that
mm,
I address their specific needs and welcome their feedback. So just as I do in the studio
mm,
classes, like I ask you, how do you feel today? Would you like something stronger? Or would you like something that is going to help you wake up? Depending that, we have discussion, and also we have time to share, so they can say how they feel, what's changed,
mm,
and so on. Yeah, there's this live group energy that build this supportive and tightly knit community of yogis in recovery. So people who want to support each other as well. So like promoting this positive attitude, like cheering
mm,
each other, appreciating the changes. Also yoga in plain English, so you don't have to know
mm,
yogic concepts. I explain everything in plain language and focus on making it applicable, making it
mm,
easy to, making it as
mm,
useful as possible. And that it's you can feel seen and understood. I've also suffered from this
mm,
condition, so I also know how difficult it can be. So I offer my empathy, and that it's secure and simple, so you don't need
mm.
to expensive props, just like a mat or something to sit on.
Awesome. I
Yes.
really love this section. I think you did a really good job on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I still have to rework it a little bit, make it easier to follow, but it definitely touches the points they
The
mentioned.
points they mentioned exactly. So like
And
and this becomes like much easier to comprehend because it talks to me, like and it's
mhm.
kind of like in a way even like answers like some questions that I might have. It's like, oh, like do I need to buy all the props now then? Like if I'm practicing online. No, you kind of already like answered this. Like, no, you don't need much. You just need a simple yoga mat, a blanket, and a small cushion,
You don't
like
even need a mat, yeah,
exactly.
actually.
Right. So it's kind of like answers
Mhm.
already some of my questions or even potential objections I can have. Like, so this is great. Let's check
Yeah.
what else you have down there.
And check if yoga for pain relief is
Mm,
for you. And yoga for pain relief is perfect if you wish to. And here's like a list
mm,
of things. Part of it is from the interviews. Part of it is from my head.
mm.
So if you find it's for you, if you wish to finally soothe your pain sustainably.
I mean, like
If you want,
everything is quite good. Like the only like parts again which I'm finding like really make sure that you don't have anything fluffy. Like become more grounded, serene, and happy. Like
Mhm.
I would like really with the copy, especially with the sales copy, right? Because it's not
Mhm.
about pretty words. It's about the copy that would convert your people into the buyers, right?
Yeah.
So be as specific as possible. Like specificity
Mhm.
is really key, right? So like the moment you see something like this, like if you look at it and you find anything fluffy like that, either remove
Mhm.
it or rephrase it so it sounds more specific, because like
Mhm.
what does it mean to be more serene and happy? It's like it's a very generic concept and means like very different things for people. So and our brain has difficulty to apply generic
Mhm.
concepts to our personal specific situation. So, you know, like what would it mean in their words, in their plain English, you know?
Yeah, it's not
Right.
easy.
So also like change your inner dialogue, like in what way, you know, like again, like I need this specificity, because like change my inner dialogue doesn't tell me much, right? But if you tell me like, I don't know, like like reduce this like whatever nagging critical voice that you hear about not being good enough to something different, what they told you they want to hear, you know, like that would be much more specific for me, because like change my inner dialogue doesn't tell me much.
Reduce the nagging critical voice in your head. Yeah, that's the thing. I struggle so much with naming it in a simple way, because it's been so present in my mind, like all the things, that I don't know, it's just difficult to name it in a simple way. Like,
but that's why, like, you know, like if you're struggling with this, then even run more interviews, right? Because you had 5 now, like you can run 5 more, and you can be like a bit more focused now, not on just like generic, like kind of like problem solution, but like dig a bit deeper into this kind of like concepts, you know, like, or like, are you like someone who is experiencing this, like, you know, like in a dialogue, when sometimes like you hear this critical voice inside of you, you know, like how does it show up, you know, and let them describe it in their words, because this is exactly what you're going to use in your marketing, and that's what they're going to use for all your sales tools, like a sales page, for example, right?
Yeah.
And then like later on, I don't know, like if you want to do any like flyers or whatever, brochures, you know, like use this language as much as possible.
Yeah.
So something else like about this section, which is, it's probably not for you, try not to bully your potential customers, because this is like happens a lot of times, and like a very general mistake where, you know, like, or like, you know, like like, of course, like my service or product is for everybody unless you're an idiot, you know? And it's like kind of like the second part here is like prefer quick fixes and magic solutions instead of long-term dedicated practice. That's like, you kind of like telling them they're idiots, you know, like don't be like this, you know, like show them once again that you understand, like in the real world, you know, like for whom it is really not a good practice, you know, like it's really, think about it, like, I don't know, like when we talk, for example, about our program, which is like a 6-week boot camp where we teach people how to get paying clients first in the door. It's a very intense program. It's 6 weeks, right? And it's called bootcamp for a reason. So like, for example, in this section of a sales page, I would tell people, like, if you're someone who prefers to do stuff like at their own pace, that would be not for you, because they would just burn you out. It's a very intense program, you know? So it's really for people who are like a bit slower, who don't want to have this like super condensed, but they want to prefer maybe to work one-on-one at their own pace. Like this is not the program for them, right? So be very genuine and very sincere for whom it is the program, and like, or your service, right?
Without
for whom
offending.
it is not, without offending them, you know, like, or of course, if you're an idiot and you prefer just like quick solutions instead of like proper solving your chronic pain, then like you can, you know, peace out from here.
Yeah. I mean, I get your point. I was like, I didn't mean to offend people, but I was also trying to make sure that they are aware that this is something that builds up with time. So that, and it requires dedication. So it brings beautiful results when you start building the.
You can say that you like, but maybe like change the words, not prefer quick fixes, because nobody prefers quick fixes, right? But like, if you like, I don't know, like want just a quick fix, like that would not work, you know, like just like really explain, because it is a process. So give them some like background behind that, you know? So like, if you really want to like, I don't know, relieve your pain on a like on a permanent base, you know, like you would require time, right? So if you don't have time for this, or like, or not have the, like, I don't know, like don't see as something you can invest a lot of time in right now, then probably it is not for you.
Yeah, okay. So to make it kinder and to make it sound like you need, okay, because it does require some time and some dedication.
You know, like you could say like if, even though like I would love to offer you a magical solution, you know, but unfortunately it doesn't exist. So in order for this to work, you would need to put some time into it, right? And probably like for at least, I don't know, like 6 months or whatever. So if you feel like you won't be able to commit to this, probably this is not for you.
Yeah.
You know, like just being normal, kind of like, and explaining it to them, because this is very off-putting. It's right away. It's like, oh, you know, there is judgment, and people don't respond well to judgment.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same. Like, see, relaxation and meditation is a waste of time. You know, it's like, I don't think that's like somebody really, like, you know, like if people are in chronic pain, they probably are very eager to try it, but they don't believe it can help them, right? And it's actually, there is a difference between what we sell to people and what we actually give to people. There is a difference between this, like once the moment of sale happens, there is a change, right? Because we actually need to sell people what they think they need, because they're much more eager to buy it. But what happens after they bought, we give them what they actually need, you know, and there is a difference, right? So like, just really make sure that you're giving them what they think they need, because like, they're not, like, it's actually very normal that relaxation and meditation might not be seen by them as the solution to their problems. You know, like they just don't think it's going to help. Maybe they believe more in medication or whatever, because the pain is so strong. It's like, how the freaking meditation, when I sit like for half an hour still, going to help me with pain? You know, like they just don't see it. And it's normal, right? And you don't need to sell them on this, right? Like, we're just going to do very simple practice, like at your own pace, whatever. You don't even need to go too deep into like meditation and like relaxation and whatnot. But once they're there, you know, and they're going the kind of like through the machine of your business, then you know that meditation will really help them. And then you can include it in your service, you know, and you can actually guide them through this. And once they experience it, they will start seeing it. But before that, they probably don't, you know, don't connect to this, right? So like, this one doesn't even need to be in there.
Yeah, I also think so.
You want to be even more productive and hardworking? How is this a bad saying, you know?
It's just like a broken idea. Like, yeah, I was struggling with actually expressing the thought that, you know, there is this imperative of being like ever more productive, ever more achieving, ever higher, like always more and more and more. Whereas, you know, it doesn't really do as well. So if some people just think that, okay, everything's gonna be fine if I move faster and if I'm more productive, yeah. Whereas, you know, sometimes this is exactly the mindset that brings the onset of pain.
But that's, again, this is like the mismatch between what they think they need and what they actually need. So what they actually need is to slow down, but they don't see it, because who on earth would not want to be more productive? You know, like, I would love to be more productive, you know, like as an entrepreneur, like I could do more things. And then if I finish my work fast, I can have much more time to do all the things I love. You know, like, I want to be more productive, you know, how is this bad? So it's kind of like, really like, make sure that this section, this part, because it is like actually crucial to have it, but you really like pull out those people for whom it will not work. Maybe for medical condition, you know, like maybe for like something, you know, because like for everybody else it would work. So like, just list the actual things. For whom would it not work?
Well, the thing is, I have to think about it, because it's also, I mean, it's pretty much for everyone.
You know, like, so like, and that's like brings us to the next point, that maybe like, you know, it's actually can work for almost everyone, except, you know, like, you might just not like it for whatever reason, or just it's really not suitable for you. And that's where you need to give people a guarantee. I don't know if you have already a guarantee included on this page, but that would be perfect, right? So like, here there needs to be a section which gives people some sort of guarantee, some safety net they can fall onto, you know? It's like, okay, you know, like, I kind of like, I think I like it, but like, is there a way to try it and just to make sure that it really works for me? You know, you maybe want to give them like first class for free as a trial, you know, and if they don't like it, they can, like, you know, not continue. Or if they paid and they really didn't like it, you give them their money back. You know, it's a money back guarantee. Whatever that is, like, give them some sort of like safety net, you know, that in case it doesn't work for them for whatever reason, they can safely drop out. You know, because it just increases the likelihood of people buying just because there is a guarantee. Every good offer must have a guarantee. And if we like call it out on the sales page, it also increases conversion.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well, because you mentioned that in our call. And I was thinking about like offering like cheaper, like there's always like a promo class, because like yoga studios no longer provide free, very rarely open the free class. So I was thinking about like maybe offering like a promo ticket for like 3 classes for the price of one.
Also, can be like anything, but you know, like give them some sort of like safety. They can drop out if they hate it.
You can
You know?
always, yeah, you can always discontinue. It also maybe I think it would make sense to offer 3 classes for the price of one, because then also it builds up. If it doesn't work one day, they can also see that okay, there is like a different tomorrow is another class, yeah, so they can come in a different mindset and also experience that, you know, like I ran away from my first Kundalini class. I thought it's weird and I don't like it, but it found me a few years later and I loved it. So
you know, you can even describe it here, like saying like, you know, like I like describe like people connect to stories, right? Like I like ran away from my first Kundalini class and I thought like it's a bunch of bullshit, but actually, you know, like after some time, I found it to be extremely helpful for me. That's why I really want you to experience at least 3 classes, but I understand, you know, that it might be too much of a commitment for you. So I offer you like 3 classes for the price of one. Just come and experience, you know, and give them the button to buy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
the guarantee, and then yeah, I was like
mhm.
Thinking about using the space, and it's not I just pasted my yogic bio. It's just used by the schools I work with. So I was
I
thinking
mean, like,
about like,
perfect. This is also your opportunity to build your authority in this space, so you can list like all your certifications and blah blah blah. You
yeah,
know,
so I
all the
just wanted to
experience.
quickly, yeah, to quickly use it here. And
It's short. It's very good. I
it's
like
not
it.
gonna be longer than like
Perfect. This is very
5
good.
sentences, but I think I will rewrite it. So I mean, I will rewrite the whole website, and I will write it using you and I. So like that it's me, like as a single teacher, not some kind of so it will be you experience this and that. I, as a teacher with this background, I have
Yes.
solution to your problem.
Wonderful.
So this is what I thought, and
Okay, so we're missing 2 more parts here, which would be testimonials. If you have any testimonials, that would be amazing, especially in the space of chronic pain relief. You know, like if you can take it from your already existing clients, you know, like and just put like a bit of like, you know, like ask them to write a testimonial for you. If you can have video testimonials, even better so, right? Because it's like much higher trust into video testimonials than the written ones. But if not, then not, but at least like have some testimonials there, some social proof. And we're missing frequently asked questions. And frequently asked questions section of the sales page or website is the opportunity to answer all the objections that people might have. You know, like, what if it's not for me? It's too expensive. I'm too busy. I'm like something, like whatever people told you, right? Because like if you used our cheat sheet for the for running the interviews, there was a question about like, you know, like even if the offer is perfect, what would still prevent you from buying it, you know, or investing in it? Like if you ask this question, if not, then run more interviews and ask people this, you know, like what would still stand in the way? And then in your frequently asked questions, FAQs, you need to answer those objections. You know, like and turn them into the positives of your offer.
Yeah, so I'll Well, I didn't really get this cheat sheet,
Did I not
but
send it to you?
no, I didn't get it from you, but that's fine. I can. How many questions should I put here in the FAQ?
Well, like it depends what they tell you. Like the most common objections they have, like usually it's about like 3, 4.
Okay. Yeah,
You
that
know, like
sounds
there
good.
might be one also on the process, you know, like once I pay, what happens? You know, just describe them like you will get a link, blah, 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 whatever, like whatever will happen. You know, like what if I can't join the live class? What will happen? You know, what if I don't like it? What will happen? You know, like stuff like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So just like basically answering their like it's like what if this or that happens? Like what should I do?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Sure. So yeah, so still a lot of work, but
Right. And also I don't know if somewhere at the end of the page you also want to capture them even if they don't buy, because I don't know, like putting, for example, up your social profiles, or I don't know, like, you know, because you said like you have an Instagram here, right? So like make them link to your Instagram so they follow. If you have a blog or anything else, you know, like it's kind of like to keep them in your universe so you can nurture them, because maybe they are not buyers
I
for now,
was,
but it doesn't mean that
yeah,
they can't become buyers in the future.
I was thinking about, because I also I really want to create a newsletter.
So for example, you can
So
invite them to sign up for your
I already
newsletter.
have, so I wanted to place here a sign up form for a newsletter. So I was thinking about like join my chronic pain relief newsletter with like, and I was thinking about sending it maybe once every 2 weeks.
So give them the reason to join, right? Because
Yeah.
like they're like, it's kind of like you are giving them value in exchange for their data, so you can actually nurture them, right, and keep them like in your CRM. But give them the reason why. You know, like
Yeah.
what will they receive as a benefit by signing up to your newsletter? Will they receive exercises every 2 weeks that they can try for their chronic pain relief?
Yes, this is the idea.
Okay, so
This is the
but
idea
just
to share
make sure to
some.
tell them. Make sure to tell them.
Yes. So I was thinking about like creating a newsletter that would basically have like ideally have a link to some practice from that I want to record for the Instagram or for YouTube. Yeah, so link to a meditation, some positive thoughts, like a mental exercise, like journaling hints. So something to lift up, you know, to bring hope. So
Awesome.
like a hope, like a love letter. Maybe I would even call it like a love to your body,
Like
something like
whatever
that.
that is, right? That just like don't forget to explain them like what they will get from it.
Yeah.
Right. So they need the reason to sign up. Okay, and then I think with this we had a question about the shop on the website, right?
Yeah.
So and by the way, like your website, like if you are making it, like it can actually mimic the sales page structure. So like don't be afraid to turn your website into like a mini sales page, because maybe it doesn't need like so much description of your like specific services and stuff, right? But in a way, kind of like it needs to be very clear for whom it is, with what it is helping, why you are the best person to do this, like, and why your services are kind of like the bridge between their pain and desires. So don't be afraid to mimic the structure, because then your website will convert much higher as well. Because it's like, if we like in general look at the conversion rate of the websites, they're not more than 4%, right? And sales pages actually, like when they convert, it's like, I don't know, like probably the highest that I saw was like 11% conversion, right? But if we can use this kind of like structure for the website, the conversion rate definitely will go higher. So like use this as well. So right, and this in terms of architecture, and then in terms of the shop, if you want to have a shop, why not put it out there? You know, like it's a bit of effort, but it's a potential like the revenue stream, right? Like if people really experience, I don't know, like the meditation with you and they love it and then they want to have more, you can always guide them to this section of your website saying like, hey, like you can purchase more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. But then the actual sales of the yoga classes could take place on this software, on the
Mm-hmm.
like Mama
Yeah,
Yoga or
usually,
Beastword.
yes, exactly. I think usually you
Mm-hmm.
can integrate like this into your website as well. Like for example, they can be
Mm-hmm.
like just a link to the checkout page or whatever. Because like
Mm-hmm.
normally, like on all this platforms, like you can just like take the code that you can embed, like,
Yeah.
or you
Mm-hmm.
can, you know, like connect them like in any other way. But like normally it works quite well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on the software embedded in the page, and then shop would be for meditations. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. I think we're done unless you have any more questions.
No, I feel like I have to sink in. It has to like I really have to take like a break and relax a bit and then work on it and yeah,
What
and
was
actually
your
create
maybe
it.
biggest takeaway today, if any?
I mean, I have to rework how I describe my services. I think this is also like I think I try to this is good and bad at the same time because I try to instead of like using simple words, I find more complex or more like PR kind of stuff for the things that should be simpler, like the pain. So I this is a big takeaway for me that I really have to write simpler, use simpler words, and draw more mm, on the things that I learned from my interviewees. Uh, so I get the sense that I'm still like filtering information and use my, let's say, like copywriting
Mm. But this is
as if
also
I was
normal.
writing,
This
as
is
if
also
I was,
normal.
yeah, but it's like I've got like I'm a B2B writer, right? So it's also it makes sense to name things like not to shy away from using more, let's say, advanced
Mm.
like the sense of comfort or reclaiming your body.
Mm.
Whereas, you know, people would use different things.
Mm.
So I'm a bit like tired now and I feel like, oh, too
But
much
like,
work.
but you know, like, yes, it's work on the one hand, right? But on the other hand, like, just think about all the opportunity to convert way more people because they would
Mm-hmm.
feel much more seen, heard, and understood by you because
Mm-hmm.
you're using their language, right? So
Yeah.
people will be connected way more to you. And I think
Mm-hmm.
like this is actually not like you have some sections which are already like pretty well done, right? Like just like it's just a matter of changing some words and making it more specific. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that it's actually the hard part. Like I know from my own journey because for me learning to write like copy with the sense of it being more conversion oriented than just like pretty
Mm-hmm.
words put together, you know, like it took me over a year to master the skill so like I can very much relate like to how you're feeling. That's a lot of work, but it's definitely pays off. It definitely
Yeah.
pays off. So the
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
specific we are,
I
the
mean,
more sales we get from it.
switching from B2B to B2C, like I rarely wrote anything B2C because I always felt it's like not advanced enough. And suddenly I have something that I really care about. And it's a huge mental change. So,
And
and I
sometimes
also
writing simpler copy is much more difficult than writing
it's
advanced
always
copy.
like that. It's always like that. And yeah, like distilling what's actually happening here. Because I also feel like everyone knows that yoga is like about relaxing, yeah. But I want to make it like condensed, make it more like
Don't shy away from just using their words. And the closer
mhm,
you are to this, the easier it is actually to write a copy and the more people can relate to it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. anyways,
Thank you
yeah.
so much for sharing this with me, for like also trusting me to look into like what you have done until now.
Mm-hmm.
So was really a pleasure having you together with me today.
Thank you.